Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. My name is Elliot, and I am going to share with you all my spoiler-free movie review for the film Widows, which Morgan and I were fortunate enough to see a week in advance, and we always love to get those early screeners. So this film, guys, Widows, is filled with talent in front of the camera as well as behind the camera. Let me run through these names real quick. I mean, we have the director, Steve McQueen, who you guys might know, who brought us the Best Picture a couple years ago with 12 Years a Slave. We have a phenomenal writer in Gillian Flynn. Might be familiar with her work. She did the screenwriter of Gone Girl as well as this year's HBO show, Sharp Objects. Really great writer. And let me just run through this cast right quick. I mean, the cast is just incredible, this ensemble cast. We got Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki. She's a great talent. Sorry for butchering your name. Cynthia Erivo, who I fell in love with Bad Times the El Royale, which you can see that review on our channel now. Colin Farrell, Brian Henry from Atlanta, love that show. Daniel Kaluuya is the man. Jacki Weaver, Carrie Coon, who I love for Leftovers. I look at all these TV talents. It's so great to see the TV world and the movie world intertwining the last few years. Robert Duvall and Liam Neeson. And the music was Hans Zimmer. I mean, can you get any better than that when it comes to this talent, this diverse cast, this amazing director, great writer? So with that being said, guys, this movie was, for the remainder of the year 2018, was one of my most anticipated films for the rest of this year. I wanted to love this film, guys, but unfortunately, it didn't really land all the way with me, and I'll get into that with my negatives. If this is your first time watching a review from Movie Files, number one, welcome to our channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our latest and greatest content. We do movie reviews, we talk TV, we do unboxing videos, and we also do trailer reactions, so definitely subscribe to our channel. But anyway, if this is your first time watching a review, I touch on the positives, the negatives. Again, spoiler free. I give you guys a score at the end of the video and let you know what my overall thoughts of the film. So with that being said, I always like to start with the positives. And with that, I want to start again with that amazing cast and also the director and the writer. Seeing all of them come together is so great, especially it's an adaptation of a film, or not a film, but a TV show in the 80s. So it was just cool to see kind of a new, in this new world of movie and Hollywood that we're getting now. We're getting more diversity. We're getting more women being leading people on the screen, which is so great and phenomenal to see. And that's really where I want to start. It's just so great to see. I just mentioned Colin Farrell, Liam Neeson, all these amazing, talented male actors kind of taking the backseat to these amazing female characters. And that's definitely something I want to touch on. Seeing Stephen McQueen bring these women to the forefront, being, vulnerable women, but at the same time being strong, powerful women, especially Viola Davis, who is just a phenomenal talent. And I really want to start off with that, just saying it's just so great to see female characters be brought into a kind of an original screenplay, not being brought into this kind of reboot, rehash, such as the last few years. We got Ghostbusters, Ocean's 8. Fine movies for what they were, but at the same time, they were brought in to replace these male counterparts, where in this one, it's reversed. This is female characters being brought in to lead their own movie and not come up behind men or playing behind the backseat of the men. So that was just one of the things I definitely want to point out. As far as the actual movie goes, there are some things I enjoy. Number one, when the action actually takes place towards the third act of the film, and also at the beginning, you get a little bit of the heist moments. It was shot well, it was handled well, it was brutal when it needed to be, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the film, as well as, again, I just want to touch on a couple performances as well as some positives. Viola Davis, can't say enough about her. She is such an amazing, talented actress who just demands screen time, demands your attention. She just delivers things powerfully. She's a phenomenal talent. She really leads this film when it comes to the cast. And the ensemble cast and all, there was really no weak link throughout this cast. Even though I wasn't a fan of the decisions that were made by some of the main characters, and I'll get to that in my negatives, but all in all, you can't say enough about these women destroying the roles, killing it, doing a great job. Again, Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki, Cynthia Erivo, they were all great. And then I would have to say, walking out of this film, I'm a big fan of Daniel Kaluuya. Seeing him earlier this year in Black Panther playing kind of a bad guy, or playing a bad guy to a degree, seeing him go full bad guy in this film was probably the best moments of the film, from my personal opinion. Just watching him kind of do the things he do. I don't want to give too much away, but Daniel Kaluuya definitely killed it in this role. And also, too, like I said, Brian Henry, who I watched first in Atlanta, and seeing his career kind of take off in the movie world is so great to see. Again, looking at this cast is great. So all in all, like I said, the cast is really good, and that was definitely something I took away from the film. Now, kind of getting to my negative. There's a lot of negative. Like I said at the top, guys, there's a lot. I really want to love this film, but the biggest thing for me that kind of affected my overall thoughts of the movie was I really didn't feel the connection to the characters. And what I mean by that is, the story, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, and let me just kind of backtrack, the plot follows a group of women who attempt a heist in order to pay back a crime boss after their criminal husbands are killed by a botched job. So that hook is, these wives are now, they lost their husbands, and without giving too much away, we don't really spend that much time with these wives and husbands to really care about them, to kind of feel like they're mourning their husband's losses. It literally, again, I don't want to give too much away, but it literally goes like this when you get these moments with their husbands. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like they even love their husbands. It was just like Jon Bernthal's in this film. He's in it for like 2 seconds. I think that's something like in all his movies. He's like barely in it. He's a great talent. But anyway, I just didn't feel that emotional weight in this, this mourning stage for these widows that are now have to fight for themselves, and also too that, and then again, once I couldn't really find an emotional attachment to these characters, everything else was just kind of magnified for me. Like, number one, I find it very hard to believe that these women were able to become mastermind thieves in less than a month. Again, I don't want to touch too much on that because it'll give away too much of the plot, which, by the way, some of the subplots to me really didn't work for me. I mean, you have Colin Farrell and Brian Henry going through this political race to become a ward, I don't even know, not governor or mayor, but they had this political theme to the movie. Then you have the wives becoming thieves, and then you have the Daniel Kaluuya on his mission to kind of find out what, it was too many things going on. Elizabeth's character, she has this, she's a battered woman. She gets taken advantage of with her mother, Jon Bernthal. She just seems like she's just a battered woman throughout the film, and then she has this subplot with this architect that she's trying to build a relationship with. I thought that was unnecessary. It was just a lot of stuff in this movie. Cynthia Erivo, again, I saw Bad Times at the El Royale. She was a standout to me. Her backstory and her storyline really didn't play well to me. I feel like she was just kind of thrown into the movie, especially in the third act, and kind of her motivational factors, which is another thing. These women, the way Viola Davis had a hook. Her husband, Liam Neeson, was kind of the head of this crew, and she had her motivational factors, and Brian Henry kind of does some things to kind of get things going for her, but then she kind of brings in the other women to this plot, and the way she brings them in is just like, should I really be rooting for Viola Davis? Anyway, it is a lot that I can go, because I don't want to run on and on. It was just, I thought that the subplots, it really didn't work. I didn't really feel that emotional connection between the husbands and the wives, and a little bit of moments that we got. I thought there was a lot of stuff that could have been taken out of the film. Liam Neeson and Viola Davis gets the most screen time in regards to the relationship that we see on the screen. I thought their relationship was just kind of odd, and the thing that they kind of bring up with something that happens in their past was just kind of handled kind of poorly to me. And all in all, the actual third act of the film, when the heist actually takes place, again, this is marketed as a heist film, and there's really just one heist. But anyway, when it comes to the climax of the film, I was kind of let down. So all in all, I think, even though I just mentioned all those negatives, guys, again, I love to see great directors with diverse backgrounds, writers, women writers being brought in, a woman cast, a talented women of cast being brought to the screen, mixed in with some male figures that I'm a fan of. That's what I took away from this film, is even though I didn't really like the final product, I really like this shift that we're getting in Hollywood. So with that being said, I'm going to take my positives I took from the film and my negatives and come up with a score. I'm going to give this film a 2.8 out of 5. I know the critics love it. A lot of people I've spoken to on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all the stuff that we're on, a lot of people really love this film, and I just was a little disappointed because I was really looking for an emotional kind of the heat meets set it off, and I really didn't get that. Again, this film it was a crowd pleaser. Our theater really enjoyed the funny moments, the twists and turns that we get in this film. But for me, once I couldn't connect to the characters, everything else was just kind of an afterthought for me personally. Now again, that's just my opinion, guys, and that's why I love doing these reviews. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Widows, without spoiling too many things or spoiling anything. Just let me know what you thought of the film. Again, I thought the performances were well. I just thought the execution wasn't all that great, especially with the talent involved. But again, that's just my opinion, guys. So with that, if you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up. Again, like I said, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Keep an eye out for some more content we got coming pretty soon, guys. And as always, if you're not already following us on Instagram, please do so, as well as on Facebook and Twitter. Stardust as well. All that is in the description below, guys. So thank you for watching this review, and we'll see you on the next video.